Good morning. This is the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. My name's Dave Burney.
I'm Brent Apperson. Good morning.
Good to have you folks along. 33 degrees outside, all clouded up now. Winds out of the northwest, 15 miles per hour. Yesterday might have been the last real nice day we'll see for quite a while, maybe all of this week. And there's a chance here and there of some snow and rain, but so far they're not talking about a lot of accumulation, but the party's over. Weather-wise, for a little while, but it's not like bitter cold. Just trying to look at the bright side.
Yeah, I was looking at the forecast. It just looks ugh.
That's a good description for you. Especially after you heard 53 yesterday.
Yeah, it was nice yesterday.
Beautiful day yesterday. So hope you are ready for a full week. We have, of course, state playoff action. Everybody's excited about some area teams going down to Lincoln and enjoying the fact that they've made it to state, now get to travel to state, and the fans, for the most part, will get to go. And if you don't get to go, Brent and the guys will have you covered because you're going to be covering both teams, and we hope that we cover both teams like 3 times each, right?
That'd be great. Yeah, Brent would love to stay through the weekend, and I know they would too.
Oh, you
bet. We wish Ansley Litchfield and SEM the best of luck. Those are the 2 teams that we'll be covering for you this week at the Boys State Basketball Championships. Ansley Litchfield will play Maywood Hayes Center in Class D1 on Wednesday evening, tip-off at 6. And then SEM will play the following day on Thursday against Osceola, and that game will be in the morning at 10:45 Thursday morning, and we'll broadcast both of them for you at the tournament, and we'll have all Ansley Litchfield and SEM games all the way through the tournament for you on KBBN 95.3 FM and KBBN.com.
All right. And that will conclude the winter sports season. Track is already being practiced. I'm sure there's some golf clubs being moving back and forth, swinging across the tees and the greens and getting ready for those sorts of things. And we move along. It's March 6th already.
I know. Wow.
St. Patrick's Day coming up, all those sorts of things.
When is St. Patty's Day? It's always the 17th, right? Or am I dreaming?
Yeah. Didn't change the calendar yet, but yeah, should change that. I'll do that later.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll get to that.
Okay.
There's some calendars around here that aren't changed. Yeah. That's pretty typical. Let's take a look at the school lunch menus and see what's happening. Now, actually, I'll start with the Prairie Pioneer Center menu today. They are having cheesy hamburgers, mixed veggies, mandarin oranges, and bread. And you can go and have a meal. Call them at 872-6121. Let them know that you're going to be there so they can have a plate ready for you.
All right, Cozad today. Some of their choices include nuggets with Italian bread, grilled cheese sandwich, or Italian sub. Some of your choices at Cozad today.
And Selma Myrna Schools, it's pizza pinwheels, mini corn dogs, crispy chicken shaker with roasted flatbread, vegetables, fruit, and milk at Anselmo Myrna.
Loop City today, your choice of a meatball sub or pepperoni bread at Loop City.
At Ansley, it's hot dogs, fruit, vegetables, and milk.
All right. Gothenburg is saying no school today, spring break.
All right. No school today. Yeah, no school today at the Broken Bow Middle School, High School, according to this calendar.
Oh.
I did not know that. I hope that's correct.
Didn't know it either. Sargent Public Schools today looks like macho nachos, corn, fruit salad, cookie, milk, and salad bar at Sargent.
At Thedford today, chicken strips and curly fries. And those are your lunch menus for today. Thanks to the schools for putting those up on their websites so we can grab them and read them. Also want to wish you a happy birthday today if you're having a birthday. We don't have a list of birthdays today, but we can tell you if you're having a birthday, you're having a birthday with the Shack today.
Shaquille O'Neal.
51 today.
Wow.
He is probably one of the most lovable big guys that you'll ever see around, off the court anyway. He's really gotten a lot of traction out of his talent for making commercials and using his celebrity status to make some money. But I also understand, if you read about the Shack, he does a lot of really nice things for a lot of people. So kind of things like standing in line at a restaurant and paying for somebody's meals, and that's just a small part of what he does. So happy birthday to the Shack. Rob Reiner is 76 today. Meathead himself.
Yes.
Archie and Meathead together and All in the Family. He later became successful as a director with things like Stand By Me, The Princess Bride, When Harry Met Sally, and Spinal Tap, which was a fantastic show. David Gilmour is 77 today. He is the guitarist and singer and songwriter for the Hall of Fame classic rock band Pink Floyd. So if you're celebrating a birthday, happy birthday to you. And if you have a toothache, it's appropriate.
Oh.
National Dentist Day.
Oh.
Raise a glass of mouthwash for the person who spent 8 years in a university just to be able to spend the day inside people's heads fixing their teeth. Dentist fun facts. This is amazing. Dentistry has been around for 5,000 years. Ancient Egyptians used rocks instead of drills. So we think we have it bad with drills. Not bad at all. And of course, they didn't have Novocaine or laughing gas. The hardest substance in the human body is tooth enamel. That's a fact. Not a fib, it's a fact here on The Breakfast Show. And over a lifetime, the average American will spend 38 and a half days just brushing their teeth.
Oh, wow.
Also, one of your favorites, especially if you dunk them, National Oreo Cookie Day.
Yeah,
today.
we don't dunk them.
You got to dunk Oreo cookies.
No. It's gross. If you dunk Oreo cookies, then you look and you got these little floaty things in your milk or whatever you're...
Just swallow it down.
Ah, yuck. That's gross.
Oreos were born in New York City in 1912. It was a very happy day back then. They came in a glass jar, and a pound of them cost $0.25. An intricate design stamped on the face of the cookie is actually trademarked. Did you know Oreos were unable to, I should say, were made by the National Biscuit Company, but were forced to change its name because there was already another NBC out there. So they mushed the words, and the National Biscuit Company together made Nabisco.
Nabisco, yep.
So those is that's the fact, not the fib, the fact on The Breakfast Show about Oreo cookies. Fun facts about names.
Okay.
This one kind of surprises, I think. Surprises me. I don't know about people out there, but I know that these names that are the most popular are common names, but it seems like names change every once in a while and they become popular. You know, old names come back and so forth. So I'm kind of surprised at this one, but everyone, according to the Social Security Administration, more than 4.5 million guys in the United States are named James, making it the most common men's name, and Mary is the most popular female name with more than 3 million Marys.
Really?
Yeah. Robert, John, Patricia, and Jennifer also rank among the most common names in America. But I think one of the more common names is Steve.
I think so. Yeah. Be cool if we had a Steve with us on The Breakfast Show.
That would be perfect.
Wait, we do.
Hold it. There's Steve.
What do you mean? Oh, yeah.
From the grocery cart.
Nice to see you. Welcome aboard.
Good to see you.
Happy anniversary.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for letting me come in the door. I haven't been out here a while.
You haven't. It's good to have you in the door.
Yeah. Well, it worked out, and we were in good shape.
Good. Knock
This
on
morning.
wood.
Knock on
So,
wood. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard your ad this morning that you recorded about the 40th anniversary of the grocery cart.
Mm-hmm.
In some ways, that doesn't seem possible. In other
Right.
ways, it seems like grocery cart's been serving us for a long, long time.
Yeah, it's an amazing feat to reach that kind of a milestone in any business, and grocery store for sure as well, because it's as many businesses a competitive market. So we're thankful for the business support, the community support over the last 40 years, and I know our ownership group would reflect that as well. So, yeah, that's the main reason I also came out. I'm not really here to talk ad items or anything like that, and unless you want me to, but
I know Brent does because
he wants to go over
he's
the price of American cheese, maybe.
well, we don't. We
We're
struggle
not as
a little
good.
bit.
We're not as good at reading the specials as you are,
Oh.
Steve. Let's just put it that way.
But we'll do it if
Yeah.
you'd rather not do it. Because
I got a lot of ad stuff here, but
you mentioned some in your ad today that I heard, Steve, about some of the different prizes and different things you're going to be doing along the way through this celebration. What are some of the plans there?
yeah, let's go over some of that. So we started today. Each weekday from now till the end of this month, so Monday through Friday, we'll be picking 2 winners of $100 GK gift cards. So that'll be phenomenal for 40 individuals to win that, and that'll be a lot of fun. So be looking for those winners getting posted on Facebook, and I'll be giving them a call and congratulating them as well. We've got 1 free deli meal winner on weekdays as well. So during the lunch service, it's just a random thing. They're going to set a timer, and whenever the timer goes off, whoever, as fair as possible, whoever's up next will receive their meal for free. So that'll be fun, Monday through Fridays all month. We've got 2 times rewards points. Of course, we introduced the rewards card, I don't know, 5-6 years ago now, and it's been a great addition, I think, to the grocery cart. It adds a little value to your shopping trip. It's not really a gimmick thing, or at least we don't use it as a gimmick thing. It's not super advantageous for us, but it is definitely advantageous to anyone that uses it, as far as, it benefits us, because if you use it and buy your groceries at our store, we're obviously benefiting,
Right.
but then you also get to benefit with gas discounts and free items at the store, so that's really been a win-win for us and our customers. So that's an awesome thing. Of course, this week's Frozen Food Week. If you've seen Facebook or your email, that ad came out with our regular 2-page ad. So enjoy those extra frozen food sale items. We'll be drawing the pizza oven and the pizza stone that our pizza vendors were generous enough to offer up as some prizes for our 40th and for Frozen Food Month. There's a lot of other great prizes you can win. Some of them are right by the drawing box. You'll see them up there. Cool Tunes from Pepsi, Igloo cooler with speakers.
Wow.
I mean, when we were younger, coolers didn't come with
Wow.
speakers.
You had to carry a big box on your shoulder.
Gosh.
Now you can carry a cooler on your shoulder. Carry your drinks with you.
That's crazy.
Or something, I guess. So,
Convenient, though.
yeah. One of the younger generation will love this one as well. A Coke Monster Bluetooth speaker. So that's pretty convenient. Hooks up Bluetooth style for those that understand that technology. Coke Papa Shot. Those are always fun for the kids. So if you've got a nice, basement or open area, that'll be a nice win for those folks. Frito-Lay tent and a chair. These just came in today, thank goodness. Paris Brothers gift baskets. We were a little worried that they wouldn't show up in a timely fashion, but they showed up. They're really nice gift baskets, so we're excited to give those away. Thank you, Paris Brothers. Bernatello's Pizza Stone, I talked about that. The Red Baron Pizza Oven. Land of Frost, Wimmers, and Fairbury were kind enough to give us an Ozark Trail 110 quart cooler, and this thing is massive. Empty, I could barely lift it. So, be ready for that if you win that. It's a sizable cooler. Budweiser's throwing in a basketball hoop and a cooler, and there's some other things from Miller Coors coming as well that I don't know exactly what it is yet, but we thank all of our sponsors and business partners in that regard, because the vendors, just for instance, I'm not going to name them all, but like Mike Shada has been a staple in our store, whether it's bread or the chip aisle, and those folks make a difference, in our stores. So, that's kind of the rundown of all those festivities.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, and Monday, last but not least, Monday, March 13th. So next Monday. Be sure to come in early, probably would be best if you're hankering for a cupcake. We'll have 400 free cupcakes with a beverage if you'd like a beverage as well. So definitely come in and enjoy that.
That's fantastic. Yeah, that's great.
So,
well, congratulations. I know that your group that you mentioned, your business group, have, I guess they have to be very happy with the grocery cart, what it's done over the years, but I think the community should be happy with what grocery cart has done for the community. And when I say community, I mean all the area communities and so forth. You've had burger fries and all sorts of different things. You've donated groceries for fundraisers, and the list, the list, it's amazing. And I know that's always been kind of the philosophy of this business group that you work with.
Right. Yeah. I know they're happy with the success that the store's had. There's no way around that, and they're super appreciative, as am I, of what this store has achieved and been able to do back to the community. If we weren't giving back, that would be a slap on the wrist to us, because you got to give back to the folks that help you out as a business, and we truly believe that that's the only way to do business. And I'm very happy to be involved with something like that, because I started about 7 years ago now. Hard to believe it's already been that long.
Wow.
23 years in the business myself, and so prior to here, I worked in a lot of corporate stores, and you don't have that atmosphere at those stores, and you really need to think about that. I don't have any problem with people shopping elsewhere. That's fine, because you might need to for various reasons, and can only find things in those stores that you need. But remember that these local businesses, like the grocery cart, definitely do give back with the dollar that you've spent at our establishments. So,
I think I'm glad you mentioned that part, because we talk about it occasionally on the show here about, we won't even go with particular names of big box stores and so forth, but you just don't see those businesses donating to our playground fund and, those sorts of things that local businesses do, because you're a part of the community, and the money not only is generated here, most of it stays here, and in the other situation, a lot of it leaves town. So it's pretty great. And I know that business group that you work with have been great promoters. So.
Absolutely. From Dave Green, they're all the original owners, which is amazing as well. Really started in 1983, and Roy Yanagita was kind of the spearhead of all that, and there's a really nice history to all of it. I don't know it all by heart, but there's a lot that went on there, and we can thank those owners to have the foresight to establish a business like this back then, and here it is today. Here it is today,
and for those of us who are old, that was here when the store first started. It was kind of a unique concept when it first started, because grocery stores typically back then, everything you had a boxer at the checkout and boxed and bagged it, and it was all the traditional way of doing things. And when the grocery cart come in, it was kind of we can sell groceries for a little less if you'll carry out your own groceries. And it was more of as I remember it, Steve, more like a warehouse feel in there at the time.
Well, a lot of the older stores had warehouse racking for the shelving.
Yeah.
We still have some of that over in the pet food aisle.
Yeah,
so, I mean,
that's right.
there's some remnants of the history of that, kind of thing throughout that store. And being in this business for almost 25 years now, obviously that's rounding up, but I've seen a lot of changes. The biggest kind of motto I use anymore is the only thing that is constant is change. Things always just change, and if you can't adapt as a business, that's not going to necessarily play out very well for you as a business. So, we've got to be able to adapt and move with the times, but never lose those traditions. In my opinion, there may be stores that don't keep the tradition, the standards of the store. You'll see me facing aisles. I mean, to me, facing, cleaning, all those things are as important as just providing good service as well. So,
well, anybody that shops grocery cart usually runs into you in an aisle somewhere.
Right.
You're not
checking in the aisle, wherever.
I think I don't know when you find time to do paperwork in the office, because I haven't seen you up there much
That's
lately.
the not so fun things. I avoid that at all costs.
I hear you.
You don't make money up in the office either.
No,
so
it's rather boring too.
I'd rather see the faces and say hi and be a part of the teamwork that we have there, which leads me to another thing. You can't leave out the team. There's a rich history there as well, of folks that had been there up to 25 years in the past that are no longer there. There's current folks that have been with us for about 25 years or more. A few names that come to mind would be, Linda Ellingson, Michelle Lane, Steph Eggleston. Of course, you can't forget old King Andrew back there,
No, he's been there a while.
Rudy, the lovable produce manager, Ken Handley. I'm going to forget something. Don't hold it against me. I'm going to forget somebody. Everybody's important, regardless if they've been there a year or 25 years as well. So
I'm thinking Eddie's been there quite a long time.
Eddie's been there, frozen manager. We've got some new managers in the deli. Our Hope and Heather in the bakery. Laura back in the wine and spirits, and she does a lot of other things in our store. There's too many to remember and mention, but they're all important to me.
Yep.
Well, like I said, whether they've been there a year or 25 years, they make the difference. I don't run this thing by myself, so.
Well, it's a big store to run.
Yeah.
One of the things too that I don't even know if you want to talk about it, because it has been an uphill climb, and that's been. I remember when the pandemic first started, and we come out to do some remotes rather than you come here, because you were busy bleaching down all of the,
it was an interesting
all the doors
time,
and the carts and so forth. And from that point on, it has. I think it would be fair to say it's been a challenge through that period. But it seems like you're really starting to get over the hump on some of that now.
Yeah, the hiring has gotten a little less challenging, I guess. There's more folks coming in with applications, at least in our establishment, to where I'm here.
You're here today. That's a good testimony.
So, and I wasn't sure I would make it here for any of this anniversary time frame, and I was sure hoping I would, but I was able to hire such as a truck unloader. That's a key thing. We get trucks on Mondays, so that was kind of holding me from getting out here. So things like that have been the struggle. Product availability is the most frustrating thing, because that's the backbone. If you're a grocer and have been a long time grocer, that just having things in stock is most of the battle, besides just great customer service. And I know it's frustrating for customers, and you see me with no hair on my head, so it's also frustrating for me because it's a huge disservice to our customers if they can't find what they want. And take your frustration times 10 for me through that time period, because it was not
a pleasant
just
ride.
was not.
No,
Yeah.
it's very understandable. On a positive note, and that's a positive note because you've made it through and things are getting better.
Yeah.
One thing that has changed a little bit, I think, is you struggled a while having enough people with the deli.
Right.
And now people are swarming to the deli,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So first off, if you're looking for a part-time job, we would really enjoy opening back up Saturdays and Sundays. So if food's your thing, if customers are your thing, absolutely. You know, mainly we'll just fry chicken and have some sides on the weekends. So looking for some able bodies there. Otherwise, yeah, we've got a deli manager, an assistant manager. We've got Shauna, of course, and Dan in our deli, and a lot of other folks back there doing a great job. So it takes a good team effort, you know, and that's what we're really trying to rebuild, so to speak. Is, you know, it used to be before pandemic, you just assigned people jobs and they got done, and you kind of had to be creative now with I had my floor guy slicing meat and cheese for the grab and go for a while. You know, it's amazing, but you can get a lot done with willing and willing and able people. So
well, everybody learned something during that period of time on maybe we can do some of these things that I never thought of before about having the floor guy do something else.
Well,
has it been kind of a positive in that way about learning maybe how to do things a little bit differently?
I think a lot of folks like to learn new things, whereas in the past you kind of just got stuck in the job you were in because well, everything else was full for the most part, so there wasn't a whole lot of rotation through the departments or cross-training. I love cross-training where it makes sense, and so, for the more people that know how to do the jobs, the better off our customers will get served, and that's the ultimate goal, so, yeah.
Well, folks, if you're thinking about working some part-time, check with Steve at the Grocery Cart. You got a great family out there.
Yeah.
And it's been going on for 40 years.
40 years.
40 years.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you, Dave and Brent. Always fun to come out here. I miss you guys.
Yeah. Well, get back when you can. Otherwise, we'll do our best.
A lot of folks mention to me, I miss you out there.
Yeah.
I'm like, me? What do you want to listen to me for? I'm a grocer.
Well, I know, but that's one of the things that you're in one of the most important businesses
That's
that there
true.
are is
Food.
we all love to eat.
That's why I tell everybody I'm in the best business. Everybody's going to continue to eat.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
On another subject, while I have you here, and I was going to ask Brent this too. Have you seen the wonderful commercial on television featuring Velveeta? Oh, it's just look for it if you would,
Which
guys.
one?
Oh, they're just it's like they're eating gold. It's, you haven't seen it, have you?
Apparently not.
Steve doesn't have time to watch TV, so
I do. But
yeah, it's a wonderful commercial if you guys get a chance to see it. It really highlights the quality and the value of that particular product, Velveeta.
I'm glad you have a passion about one of our products.
Oh, I
Dave.
do.
Yeah.
You know I do.
One of these days we'll have you do a sampling out there.
Oh, gosh, I would love to. I'd love to.
Scoops of liquid gold shells and cheese.
Oh, yeah. What you can dip in it, all the different things you can dip in Velveeta cheese. The real cheese. So come back and see us if you can.
Yeah, I'll try to make it a habit.
Otherwise, we do what everybody else can do, and that's we can pull it up on our phones, our tablets.
Yeah.
Brett and I like to print it off when we get time because we like to. It's a little easier to read.
Oh yeah, and we always have a lot going on. We have the Linton ad going, the regular ad, the frozen food ad, the free with points ad, the flyer ad. So there's a lot of ways to save. As always at the GK, we're always kind of working behind the scenes on all of that stuff. There's a lot that goes into all businesses, and this one in particular as well. So.
One of the things that you do really, really well is try to save people money on whatever particular season or holiday it is. It is the Lenten season. I'm sure you've got plenty of fish specials.
Oh yeah, a lot of them. Yeah, and you can count on the fish and fries back in the deli on Fridays as well as Shauna's making salmon patties.
Ooh.
So those are nice, and so throughout the Lenten season you'll be able to purchase frozen fish, whatever you like, back in the meat department, and some accompaniments that go with that in the grocery department. So yeah, be a lot of good stuff there.
And all the little, I can never remember what you call those, the little stickers around the store that save money, the little...
Oh, the orange tag,
Yeah.
TPR savings.
TPR.
Temporary price reductions. Yeah, we work on those. We struggle with those sometimes, but it's worth it because, those are a lot of products. The vendors or the makers of those products extend an offer, a deal to you, and we could just, soak all that offer up and just make the money and sell it at regular price. But we would rather extend the offers to our customers, and those orange tags are our hard work and our thanks to you as customer shopping through any department. You'll find those orange tag savings throughout the GK. Just a little added benefit, a little discount that you'll find. Yeah.
All right. Happy 40th, and have a
Thanks.
great celebration, and I hope folks will take a shot at winning all those great prizes.
Oh, I sure do too. Yeah, we've got a huge box up there, so I hope it's full by the end of the month. And go on in and fill it up. We'll be happy to hopefully choose you as a winner.
All right. Thanks, Steve.
Yeah, thanks,
Appreciate
Dave.
it. We'll take a quick time out or two. When we come back, we'll have news for you here on this Monday morning.
If you've been injured or recovering from surgery, your first priority is to treat your problem. At Team Physical Therapy, we will evaluate, treat, and educate you about your specific roadblocks. We offer many therapists to help. Stop by one of our locations in Broken Bow, Burwell, Callaway, Gothenburg, and Kearney or call 872-5111. We have great resources online at myteampt.com or call 872-5111. Team Physical Therapy, together empowering able movement.
The Get Up and Go Breakfast Show.
Just want to let you know that I love the show.
I love what you guys are doing in the morning. It makes my day so much better.
KCNI KBBN Radio.
You are listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Go, go, go! On KCNI, KBBN, Broken Bow, Nebraska.
CBS News Brief. Police in Rochester, New York say one woman has died. At least 2 people are critical after a stampede at a rap concert starring Glorilla. Police Chief David Smith.
We are hearing many reports of potential causes, including possibly crowd size, shots fired, pepper spray, and other contributing factors.
The FBI says 4 U.S. citizens were assaulted and kidnapped after they drove across the border to Matamoros, Mexico. CBS's Christina Ruffini.
One woman walking on her own was forced into a white pickup truck. Men armed with long guns and wearing bulletproof vests are then seen dragging one person after another into the vehicle.
At least 12 people have been killed in the south in a powerful storm that brought tornadoes, high winds, and thunderstorms. Daniel Lowry is with Kentucky Utilities.
They're dealing with broken poles, down wires. We have a couple thousand, at least, down wires that we've been dealing with.
CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
In Nebraska news, Wilsonia Real Estate of Elkhorn had closed a deal to buy the Conestoga Mall in Grand Island on Friday, according to the Hall County Regional Planning Commission. Wilsonia bought the mall from Namdar Realty Group out of New York, the former owners of the Imperial Mall in Hastings. The Elkhorn Company has plans to remodel and rename the mall to the Conestoga Marketplace. They're planning on a more than $200 million redevelopment to the area, with plans to make the stores outward-facing, as well as improving eating and entertainment options on the grounds and adding a hotel and housing. Wilsonia has been working for several months with the city, including getting plans through the Planning Commission and Council on their proposed project. Chad Nibity of the commission says he's excited to see the property in the hands of a developer who cares about the future of the mall in Grand Island. That's Nebraska News.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Eddie Garcia.
In NBA games of note, the Knicks won their 9th in a row, beating the Celtics in Boston in double overtime, 131-129. Bucks are a league best 46-18 after beating the Wizards 117-111. Suns over the Mavericks 130-126 in a battle of former Brooklyn teammates. Kevin Durant scored 37 points in the win. He is now 3-0 since joining Phoenix. Kyrie Irving 30 points in the loss for Dallas. The team is 4-6 with him in the lineup. Clippers beat the Grizzlies 135-129. No Ja Morant for Memphis, their star player, suspended at least 2 games after an Instagram video surfaced over the weekend of him holding a gun at a nightclub. Lakers beat the Warriors and Steph Curry 113-105. Curry back after missing 11 games with a leg injury. He had 27 points in a losing effort. In college basketball, top-ranked Houston needed a buzzer beater to get by Memphis 67-65. Getting into the NCAA tournament by winning their conference tournament titles, UNC Asheville, Drake, and Kennesaw State.
Here's your weatherology forecast. Some fog early on today, mostly cloudy with our high nearing 38. Mostly cloudy skies overnight tonight with a low around 21. Still cloudy throughout Tuesday with our high of 34 and a slight chance for some snow showers throughout Tuesday night with a low of 27. Some rain and snow showers possible on Wednesday, cloudy with our high of 38, and more rain and snow showers likely throughout Wednesday night with a low around 29, and showers may continue throughout the day on Thursday. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm staff meteorologist Kara Foster.
Does your financial advisor take the time to really listen to you? Is your financial strategy personalized for you and your family? Will your financial advisor be there as your life and financial situations change? Hi, I'm Janet Lawhorn.
And I'm Tim McCaslin.
Your local Edward Jones financial advisors. When we work together, we'll focus on what's important to you.
We'll create a personalized financial strategy backed by our advice, tools, and resources to help you reach your goals. And we'll partner to help your strategy stay on track, no matter what happens. Contact us today at 308-872-6849 or visit edwardjones.com. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
And thanks to Edward Jones for making weather and news possible here this morning. 31 degrees under a now dark and cloudy sky as the winds pick up out of the northwest at 15 all the way up to 30 miles per hour. Barometric pressure continues to rise at 30.07, humidity at 90%. Our high yesterday, 53, overnight low of 31. Sunset today at 6:34, sunrise tomorrow morning at 7:05. Nothing measurable so far in the rain gauge here in the month of March. Well, we have another guest in the studio, and we're happy about that. We have Scotty Ross here with us from the Custer County Economic Development. How you doing, Scotty?
Hey, I'm good. How are you guys?
Good. It's good to have you in. How's Keith doing? You've got him straightened out, got him all in ready to go?
Yes, he's marching pretty straight by now, so that's good. Except he's in Arizona right now, and he keeps threatening not to come back.
Well, for the weather forecast for this week, he probably picked a good time to go, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about maybe some of the projects that you're working on, some of the things you want to highlight with the Economic Development Group.
Yeah, so we're getting ready to break ground on our last trust fund house in Callaway. So I'm working with Bryson Kennedy down there. He's getting some supplies ordered, getting everything lined up to break ground down there as soon as the snow clears. So it'll be fun to get that last house finished, and then whatever funds we have left after we sell that house, we can either use for a community development project of some sort. Like a splash pad was thrown out there as a suggestion from the state, just, anything you want to do, or you can turn around and use those leftover funds as a match to reapply and possibly get some more trust funds from the state and start all over again.
Start over again, and that's, well, I guess once you've went through it once or twice, it might get easier.
That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping. Get familiar with it, and so it's just kind of part of what you do every year, and just keep cycling it through. That's what, Keith was excited to possibly use those funds maybe for some of our other projects, but I said, I'm picturing us just reapplying every time and just keep these affordable houses going up as long as we can find land to put them on.
Yeah, and oddly enough, that sounds like that would be easy to find lots to put them on, but I know they had some challenges with that, having the right size lot for this, that, and the other, and at one time Callaway was going to have one, and then they weren't going to be able to, and so there's a little I guess challenges making sure everything fits together there too.
It is a challenge. You wouldn't think it would be as hard in a rural area like this where we're surrounded by land.
Yeah.
But, it's also farm ground and agricultural that, people don't always want to let go of. So you've got to pay, a good price for it, which, is only right. But we're working on developing some more land up kind of by the Hillcrest area, so we'll have some more room for some housing development. We've had some people come through, and they believe in the county and they want to see it grow. So they've put some land towards that cause.
Took a little walk yesterday by the Southside School, and it made me think about. Well, first of all, one Mrs. Stewart, my second grade teacher, hugged me there. But beyond that, where are we at as far as changing that into a housing area? Is that still in the works?
It is. We've applied for a grant to have some funds to tear it down. As you probably know, there's asbestos in it.
Mm-hmm.
So managing those hazardous materials, it gets expensive, and there's only one party in this area that can do that, and we're thankful for that. So we're waiting for word back whether or not we'll be awarded those funds to use. Otherwise, we may move forward with like using TIF or something else to tear that building down. It's a shame when you walk through that building. It's such a solid old building. I hate to tear it down.
I feel the same way. I kind of actually peeked in the couple doors yesterday afternoon. And yeah, the floors themselves they look just like they did back when Mrs. Stewart hugged me when I was in second grade. I mean, they're solid, like you say.
Yeah.
But that asbestos situation makes it difficult. And I know the group that was working on maybe using that as care center for kids. It got to the point where it'd be so expensive that it was made more sense to try to build something new, which is kind of too bad because those old structures. You kind of fall in love with them.
Right. Yeah. They don't build them like that anymore.
Right. So that's in the works.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Working on getting ready for that closing. And, I'm working with some other parties to apply. There's trust funds available. So there's the Nebraska Affordable Housing Trust Fund that we can partner with people on a project for rental housing as well. So I've had some people approach us about that, and it's great that I'm there now so that we can step up and do some more projects like that.
Mm-hmm. And how does that work? Can you give us the mechanics on that a little bit?
So the contract would be between CEDC and the state, and it's basically just like when we build a house. So whoever the developer is, they front the cost, and then they submit their invoices to us. We look them over, make sure they've done what they said they did, so there's no grant fraud going on, and then we send them to the state, and the state reimburses, and then the money flows back.
Okay, all right.
So, and then at the end of the project, we can, forgive a certain portion of it to make it cash flow for the party, and then, they can reimburse that fund, and then again, it recycles, so.
All right. Well, there's lots going on, and now when Keith comes in, he likes to talk about the different committees that have been formed and are working on individual goals.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure that's probably going to pick up a little bit as we go along. Working with the schools, I know, is a big project that he's excited about.
Absolutely. We've got 12 junior and seniors from Chadron State College coming in March to visit Broken Bow. They're looking for a rural area to plug in to start their careers. They're not quite ready. Maybe they're not interested in moving back to their hometown, but they like rural settings. And so we're going to introduce them to several people in the community and get them plugged in with some employers and give them tours of what Broken Bow has to offer. So we're really excited about that. Chadron State College approached us about it, and so that's a great opportunity.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Was catching some, I can't remember what was on the news, or doesn't matter. I thought it was real interesting, and I'm thinking that you and Keith probably talk about this a little bit. I know they probably talk about it at Mid-Plains Community College. Kind of it goes along with what you're saying here about the visitors from the Chadron, but they're now saying that something like 50% or 40% of businesses out there, even large businesses in metro areas, are not looking necessarily for employees who have college degrees. Isn't the atmosphere changing quite a bit there, Scotty, as far as it used to be, well, if you want to get a high-paying job, you got to go to college, and now it's about 40% of the business out there at the minimum saying, hey, we find that people with real experience in life pays dividends to our company.
Yep, and I would say that's twofold. Number one, there's such a shortage of workforce.
Yeah.
And so, you're looking for anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And secondly, it goes back to what Fred Bruning always said: you hire good people, and then you train them.
Yeah.
So. I wouldn't trade my college experience. I think I learned a lot, and it took some time for me to grow up.
Right.
And so, I don't regret going to college, but I learned a lot working for the bank. They sent me to trainings and, all sorts of things. And I'm learning a lot through CEDC. There's lots of trainings available that way, too.
Sure. Sure. Well, you're right. I mean, that doesn't mean that going to college isn't important, and it is a growing process, and it kind of rounds you out a little bit. And if you're going after a specific career that requires a 4-year degree, certainly that's a great avenue. I just think it's kind of nice that we're starting to realize that we need maybe people who go to 2-year programs so that they can start working pretty quickly and doing things that we don't like to do, don't know how to do, like plumbing and electricity and HVAC, and the list goes on and on. Heavy
Computer
equipment.
science, IT. I mean, there's trade programs for all of it anymore. And, a lot of people, as you notice, I talk a lot about housing, and it's not that we're not interested in developing businesses, but there's been not enough new construction housing in rural Nebraska over the last 10, 20 years to compensate for the population growth. And so even when you do find some young person or young family that's willing to move here and work, you can't find a house for them. They just literally can't move here, or they can't find daycare. And so they can't walk away from where they're from. And so that's why we do focus a lot of our time on that, because it does then filter up to employers and businesses elsewhere, because then we can bring more people in.
I found it interesting when Dave Birdie and his staff gave the report, kind of a presentation at one of our meetings, at the economic development meeting, about their search for employees. How many people drive from Kearney to work at BD in Broken Bow?
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
That kind of blows your mind, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I was visiting with a gal. I mean, there's people that even work in the office where CEDC is, that drive from Valentine, Ord, Kearney, all over the place. That, it's not that they wouldn't live here. It's just...
And a lot of people, and more power to them, if they have a couple of kids, they need a pretty nice house with a garage and 3-4 bedrooms, right? And a lot of our older homes that we have were built post World War II, and they're kind of small.
Yeah.
If you walk around your communities, you'll see a lot of those homes that were built in the 50s that were adequate at the time, but they don't put up very many people anymore in them. So it's pretty interesting. Years ago, I was on the planning commission when we were trying to develop zoning for Custer County, which was a real lesson for me, to be honest with you, because it was a lot more complicated than I ever imagined. But one of the things that popped up when we had to do certain surveys, and one of the things that popped up was the age of housing in Custer County, and this has been 20 years ago probably, and the houses were, way older than you would think back then, right?
Yeah, and none of the houses that I have looked at or lived in were built, after 1920.
Yeah, exactly.
Which, like I said, they built them different back then. They have good bones as long as they've been taken care of.
Yeah.
I'm not against, refurbishing something and bringing it back to good livable shape if you can. But.
Which I think Keith has told us about some efforts, and maybe even the program is underway for fixing up existing housing in Custer County, which I think is fantastic.
Yes. Unfortunately, that fund is dwindling because there's a lot of people that have taken advantage of it, but that's something that we will continue to do going forward, is owner-occupied rehab. So if you own your home and you want to make some energy efficiency improvements, like windows or something like that, you can apply for it. It's through the Community Development Block Grant. So
that was being used then?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, we've kind of bounced around a little bit, which is unusual in this room, but is there some things that we haven't talked about that you wanted to highlight this morning?
Well, I just wanted to throw it out there. If anybody's ever thought of starting a business in Custer County or buying an existing business, we're a resource for that as well. So we can get you set up with resources for writing your business plan, coming up with financing, facilitating maybe something if you want to buy one, if the other party's interested in selling. So we are a resource for that as well.
Okay. Well, that's helpful. The business plan part of it is really important, isn't it?
Yes, and those are free resources. So
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would definitely take advantage of that if I was looking to start a business.
Yeah, you really need one. I always say the enthusiasm when you're thinking about starting a new business is great, but the reality needs to be looked at too, and that business plan really will lay it out for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it looks great when you're trying to go in for, I mean, if you throw that business plan on the table in front of somebody that you're asking for money, they're going to know you're serious about it.
Mm-hmm. Is there money available for assessing the value of a business that's going to be sold?
Not that I'm aware of.
All right.
I mean, there's resources to help you determine that. I mean, obviously we have lots of bankers and people,
Sure.
you know.
I think there are, not through the Custer County Economic Development, but I think there was some money available at a state level that was available if you needed some help getting an evaluation done. So there's probably some avenues there.
Yeah, we can sure do some research on that.
Cool.
I'm not afraid to do that, so.
I don't think you're afraid of much of anything when it comes to this kind of work, but we appreciate you coming in and telling us what's going on. I know there's a lot more than what we've discussed here today because you guys have really expanded the portfolio as to what the services are, and we appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you. It's great to be here.
Yeah. What do you do about neighbors? I have a neighbor that's in my neighborhood that, there's some things I'd like him to do with his property. But is there a way we could you could be a go-between? We could have a meeting and kind of discuss some of the things that need to be done.
Kind of facilitate that?
Yeah.
I suppose. I'll just give you the advice that you get a lot farther with honey than you do with vinegar. So don't make your neighbors mad.
I'd like to know if there's a fund available so I can put up a privacy fence.
Privacy fence.
That's what I want to know.
What's the zoning regulation? How tall can it be?
Yeah, right.
Well, and he has
Hopefully
a landlord.
really tall.
And we'd have to work through the landlord too as well. Yeah, I think it'd just be easier if you would adhere to my suggested changes.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Are you up for that?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. We'll try it.
Scotty Ross with the Custer County Economic Development Group. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks, guys.
We'll take a time out with these words.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Is my farm completely insured? Am I covered when I drive my ATV from field to field? Do I have all locations I farm covered for liability? This is Chip with Nebraska Owners Insurance Agency. I have found over the years that most of us let our insurance policies renew year after year and never take the time to see if we are adequately protected. Let's sit down and review your coverage today. Call Nebraska Owners Insurance Agency at 308-836-2201.
Varney Health Mart has lots of great toys and more for the little ones. Lamaze brand toys, sippy cups, and silverware are in stock for you to browse and buy. They're easy to find. Just look for bright, colorful, and fun colors in the aisles. Mickey and Minnie branded items are sure to be favorites. Available in sippy cups and silverware. Your friends at Varney Health Mart in Broken Bow look forward to seeing you soon. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
The Get Up and Go Breakfast Show.
My day starts right.
With Dave and Brent.
It is 8:24. And I'm going to tell you, Brent, there's no reason we need, a third party to, fix some of the problems we have in the neighborhood. I know Scotty would do a great job, or Keith would do a great job, or they have a executive board and a regular board and A-B members and all that sort of thing. But I think we could just, if you'll just take my suggestions, I don't think there'll be any problems at all.
Are you wanting me to move?
I didn't say that.
You constantly bring up all the time about me being your neighbor.
Yeah.
And frustrations that you have with me being your neighbor. Are you trying to just get me to leave?
No, absolutely not.
Do you have a problem with me in the neighborhood?
Absolutely not.
Well, it sure sounds like it.
No, you're
constantly bring it up.
Misinterpretation on your part. There you go again.
Okay. Yeah. I'm kind of hurt, really, honestly.
Well, there's an old saying, get over it.
Yes. You know what? If all of us could just get over it, the world would be a better place, I think.
Oh,
sometimes.
I'm with you there, my friend. We're on the same page there.
All right. Hey, this just popped in my head.
Yes.
Do we set our clocks ahead this week?
Yeah, this weekend.
Oh, man.
Yep.
Okay.
Kind of glad about it and not so glad about it, because to be able to go out at 7 o'clock and look at the sky and see whether it's really cloudy or not, it's real nice.
Yeah.
But we're not going to be able to after next weekend for a while anyway. The days are really stretching out, but we'll get home and we'll have sunset till after 7 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to help, do some of the projects around the neighborhood that we need to get done.
You think, huh?
I just can't.
I know, you can't help yourself. That's why I'm thinking, I think you're just trying to get me to leave.
No.
You're trying to get me to move. I'm very hurt. I'm hurt by that.
We've
known each other for 30 years. And now I don't think you like me living across the street.
I love having you over there. It's great to have you as a neighbor. And it's great having Grant and Larry, having all the radio team kind of in the circle there.
Yeah.
I don't have any trouble with the other guys.
So good to have you back, by the way.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
Sure missed you.
Oh, I know you did. I wanted to make sure you remembered our relationship.
Yeah, good.
I did have a wonderful trip with my wife to Denver.
Now, did you go out? We were discussing this while you were gone. You didn't go on. You didn't go on a darkness retreat like Aaron Rodgers, did you? Did you go into the dark?
No, I don't think.
Okay, all right. I didn't think so. I'm just kind of curious.
I would say that we must be mellowing, because we had a day in Denver where we could have went out and about, and we just kind of took it easy the day after the show, and that was on Friday. We went on Thursday. The show was on Thursday night. It was really great. I don't know. We've seen Bruce Springsteen 5 or 6 times. He never disappoints. He always puts on a great show. But this guy's 73 years old, and he goes 120% from the time he walks onto the stage until he walks off, and he's on the stage for 3 hours.
Man, unbelievable.
And when his band, he'll once in a while sing a solo song, his band takes a break, so he's never off the stage. And he just plays all these songs that his fans can sing every word to, and it's just kind of like going to a revival. I mean, it's crazy, and it was just a wonderful show. And here's I think the cool thing that should be mentioned in today's world. We just heard about a stampede at a concert on the news this morning, and we know that sometimes the language at concerts isn't very good. I've never understood why a band that's on a stage needs to, cuss every other sentence. I guess because it's cool. I don't know, but I think professionals don't need to do that. And there were people that were using canes that came to the show, and there were people that brought their kids to the show, all the way from 2-year-olds to teenagers with them. They came as families. And so you had all ages at this show, from all walks of life. And I thought that was very noticeable. And I think Springsteen understands that, and he pays a lot of attention to the crowd. And he goes out into the crowd and interacts with them. One of the cool moments of the show was he was going out and out into the crowd, and he came around the corner, and there was a family there with, I'm going to say, a 3-year-old maybe. Because they were holding the child. It was a girl. And he got past her, and he turned around, walked back, and reached in his pocket and gave her a guitar pick. And he was handing out harmonicas to some of the fans. And so it's more than just a music show. It's kind of a revival, and all ages are welcome, because there's no language, nothing but just pure energy that he produces with his great band. It's like a, 15-piece band there with horns and wonderful backup singers. And so if you ever get a chance to go. But the tickets are not cheap, because there's so many people that want to go.
Yeah.
When you can fill a stadium like that with all different ages of people, it's pretty amazing. But I will say I had this song stuck in my head now for about 3-4 days, because I loved it anyway. But to see it done live, then it makes it even harder to forget. It's his latest, called Night Shift.
SandhillsExpress.com, who are celebrating birthdays.
Sure.
And when you're on Facebook, sometimes you have, I think they call it the profile picture. And there's a picture of Nate holding a fish, and you were basically suggesting that it was not a real fish, it was not a live fish, it was a plastic fish that he was holding up to, like, impress people. And you basically suggested it wasn't real. And I think Nate took offense to that and kind of talked about, well, slander on your part.
Is slander something you can eat? Can you put that on the grill, or?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think that's flounder.
Yeah, I think you're right. This can be the same thing. Nate's always been a little sensitive. And I've known Nate since he was just a little guy.
Mm-hmm.
His folks are about my wife and I's age, and we kind of grew up kids, and we used to have what they call the pike for skateboarding in our driveway.
Mm-hmm.
And Nate would come down and skateboard, and watched him play baseball when he was growing up. I think he just is a little oversensitive. He was kind of that way when he was younger, and I feel like maybe that's just the problem. And I think he did break his arm down at our house, and
I hope you were insured for that. I hope it wasn't a crack in the sidewalk that caused the break.
Well,
that'd be terrible.
I think he was on a skateboard, and he was on the pike, half pike, or whatever they call it.
I see.
And but I have to say he was pretty tough. He walked home from our house. He didn't know it was broke, I don't think, at the time.
Sure.
So there was, once he was off the property, we were no longer liable for that.
Okay.
So I just think he's a little sensitive, and the fish didn't look real to me. But I didn't say it wasn't real. I said it just kind of looks like it wasn't real.
Okay.
Like it would start singing at any time. Have you tried the new Girl Scout cookies?
I don't know. Which ones are you talking about?
Raspberry.
No.
They're selling like hotcakes.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they're sold out, as a matter of fact.
Huh.
It's been a big hit. Barely a week after their debut, the new Girl Scout Raspberry Rally cookie
sounds good.
Sold out. The coveted cookie is now being offered on eBay for over $100 a box.
Oh, my goodness.
When they normally sell for about $5. There's no word yet on when the Girl Scouts plan to restock the item, but they encourage cookie lovers to try their other flavors, like the Thin Mints and all those that we're familiar with. We had some Thin Mints here. But, the Raspberry Rally cookie is selling out. It's a hot one, Girl Scouts. Now, they do it differently. Joan and I were talking about this yesterday because they had an article out about this selling out of the cookie. Now, you remember they used to come to your house, and then they had a little form, and you checked which cookies you wanted to buy, and then they came later. But in most cases now, Mom has cookies out in the trunk.
Yeah.
And they sell them to you right then and there.
Oh, there you go.
So,
yeah.
So if you know of a Girl Scout group in your community, you might check with them and see if they have some cookies for sale, because that's how they raise their money.
I think we have a guest. Kristen is frantically waving through the window at us.
Well, she won't come in to tell us there's a guest.
No, I don't think so.
Oh,
but she looks very stressed out.
Well, let's get Michelle.
I guess we should get our guest in here.
I can see Michelle through the window, so come on in, Michelle.
All right.
Kristen is scared of us, if you haven't noticed. Michelle is here to talk about...
Kristen does. She gets stressed out. You and I get to talking, and there's a guest that's waiting to come in and visit with us, and we just keep yakking away, and I think that stresses Kristen out.
It does, but she'll get over it. Michelle, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good. Got your Rotary hat on today?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before we go to that, can we talk about Girl Scout cookies? What's your favorite one?
Oh, gosh. That's hard because I like the Caramel Delights, but I really like the Thin Mints.
I think the Thin Mints kind of surprise you. When I first think about Thin Mints, I go, well, I could eat them. But we had a box here And boy, they really go good with coffee, don't they?
Coffee, I don't know. I'm not a coffee drinker.
Oh, you're not? Yours, with all the running around you don't drink coffee?
Nope.
Wow.
Were you the guilty party of eating the last Thin Mint and leaving the wrapper on the? Because I got to tell you, Christy's just going crazy about. We have a rash of. What's happening is things are being eaten around here, and then when they're gone, the container or the wrapper or whatever is being left and not thrown away. And I got to be honest, it's Christy's going crazy about this. I took the last donut the other day and took the last donut. I just left the box there. And Christy just went crazy.
Ballistic on you?
Oh, yeah. So I was just, and really what set it all off was the person who ate the final Thin Mint cookie and left the wrapper. And so I'm wondering if it's you, because nobody else is fessing up to it. That's really what kick-started this whole thing.
I did not eat the last one.
Okay.
I did not.
All right.
I will not be accused of that. Michelle, I'm sorry.
No,
Yeah,
no.
sorry, Michelle. Didn't mean to go down
But I
that
understand.
road.
I have kids that do that. And I'm
Yeah?
like, really? Throw it away.
Well,
You
yeah.
get your hopes up.
I know.
And then it's just empty.
Yeah. Or when, and my kids would do this all the time. You eat something out of the fridge, you empty the bowl, and then you put the empty bowl back in the fridge. Why in the world would somebody do that?
Because they don't want to wash the dish.
I guess that's it. That's it. Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Anyway,
moving
yes. Right along.
Yes.
Yes.
Rotary.
Yes.
What's up? What's going on?
So our big thing is, of course, our District 5630.
Yes.
Our conference is coming up April 28th and 29th. So we are kind of full mode getting ready for that. And registration is available. And I'll send you guys the link.
Okay.
If anyone is interested, it's open to the public. Friday, we're going to do tours we're going to kind of get our Rotary members introduced to Broken Bow. We're going to do tours of BD, Adams Land and Cattle. And I think there's one more. I can't remember. And then Friday evening, we're going to do a taste testing, beer pairing out at Kincaidor.
Oh, nice. So a tour and then some beer tasting and show them around and go around the community. That's nice.
Yeah.
This is a big deal. I think it's getting close enough now we can start talking about it more, because before we know it, April's going to be here.
I know.
But this brings members from all over into our community, and it's a good chance to showcase things like what you guys are doing.
It is. Yep. I think, I can't even remember how many Deb said was already registered, but I know like our members are, like our Broken Bow area Rotary, we're kind of really pushing, go ahead and get registered, because there may not be tickets left, because I'm sure it's capped at 250, I think.
Oh, nice.
But most of them are all from out of town.
So if you are a local member, again, don't get yourself left out of your own convention, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Is this just 1 day, 2 days?
So it's mainly just the 1 day. Saturday is like our day of all of our speakers and our table topics and all of that. And then our convention supper that night with the awards and everything. But then we threw in Friday with the tours, and then we will have like a few meetings on Friday, but mainly just for Rotary.
Now, I hope this question is not out of line, but if you're not a member of Rotary and you want to see what Rotary is all about, would this be an opportunity to get a ticket and come, or do you need to be a member to get a ticket?
Nope, you don't have to be a member. You can definitely do that. To do like Friday and Saturday, it is $100.
Okay.
I see, and I'm pretty sure just like there's options. You can do Friday and Saturday. Saturday during the day only, which lunch is included in there. Or if you just wanted to come Saturday night to the awards, that's an option as well.
All right. And of course, if there's money left over after expenses for this event, Rotary does such wonderful things. You're basically making a donation in a way to more efforts by Rotary to do wonderful things that Rotary does. Exchange students, examples would be the flag out at the fairgrounds and all of the different projects that go on year round, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah, it's a wonderful deal. And, if you're interested in Rotary, but you don't really want to go to the convention, you're always welcome to come to a meeting. We meet the first and third Wednesdays of the month at the hospital at noon.
Okay.
Bring $5 for lunch and sit in on a meeting.
Now, are most of your speakers, I know that for quite a while because of COVID and all that, a lot of them were guest speakers via Zoom and so forth. Yep. Are you having both now, or are you having just in person? How's it working?
So we are in person, but we do try to put it on Zoom as well. That way, for those that can't make it, can still jump on and listen. Okay, all right. Yeah.
Well, that's exciting. I think bringing 250 people, they'll bring some people with them as well. That's good for the community, just bringing that many people to town. But to be able to show them around like you guys are going to do is an excellent added value there.
It is, yes.
Yeah. All right. Can we switch over to the Fair Board for a minute?
Absolutely.
Ag Society. It's also getting close to spring, and I don't know that the covered barn out there ever really is quiet any time of the year. There's always some roping and maybe some barrel race practicing going on and different things. Yep. But you had a little lull here, but it looks like you're going to really tear into another season and have all the events that I don't know how you get them all in.
Yes. Yep. We actually start. We have a couple of events in March, but then April we kind of really roll into it, and no looking back.
All the way through the Mid-Plains Rodeo at the end of the year, or towards the end of the year.
Right. Yeah. Yep. And it keeps us busy.
That does. There's probably some curious folks out there about what might happen during the fair for entertainment. Are you working on that, or do you know?
So I am. I'm still working, and I don't know. You kind of gave me an idea this morning. Maybe we steer a different direction. And I am kind of struggling finding a headliner this year.
It's
I'm
not
sorry,
easy.
I'm just getting, because what we've been talking about is Springsteen. I'm like, are you
Well,
bringing Bruce?
Well, that's what's like. Well, maybe we go a different direction.
It would be a great show, trust me. I guess the point there is that you can bring anybody from kids on up, which you can do at the fair, right?
I do try to keep that in mind. There were some that was recommended to me that's like, well, I can't do that because that is not a kid-friendly show. So I definitely try to keep that in mind.
Yeah. Well, having some experience at what you're doing there, it's kind of fun to look and dream about who you might have on stage. That part of it's the addictive part, right?
Yes.
The part of making it work financially and logistically with their schedules it's a challenge.
It is.
Yeah.
It is very frustrating, and that's what I've fallen in this year. I had put an offer in for someone last June, like before.
Even before the show last year.
Yeah, and he took off way too fast, and next thing I know, they were like, well, he's asking $100,000. I'm like, oh, well, I can't do that. Goodness. And
that's
the
not
routing,
in our budget.
just a little.
Yeah.
But and the routing issues, it is a challenge.
Well, they're always more interested in getting a little less money if it's not on a weekend.
Right.
Which, makes it a little tough because sometimes your crowds are going to be better on a weekend.
Right.
So, yeah. Well, we want to thank you for what you're doing so far, and that there's a lot of time that nobody knows is being spent on trying to put a show together.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, all right. Anything else that you wanted to talk about this morning that we didn't ask you about? Because sometimes we tend to lead people astray.
Oh, no.
I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
We've been reading a live read here about the Custer County Ag Society having an open position for a ground supervisor.
Yes.
Since we have you here, you want to touch on that?
Yes.
Just a little bit?
Yes. So anyone looking ground supervisor position, we need somebody that is going to be out there. Our busy time is a lot of weekends, sometimes evenings, but then you can take a couple of days off during the week. So it's not 7 days a week, but it is weekends. General maintenance, if you know how to run a tractor, work the ground, that is a big plus. And general maintenance of everything at the fairgrounds, everything from fixing a toilet to, replacing a blown breaker, to something on the tractor. So
kind of a handyman plus the tractor skills, which includes kind of turning a tractor into a fork truck and moving corrals and all that sort of thing, right?
Right.
Yeah. Yep. Well, somebody out there is just right for the job, so if you're listening, they contact you, right?
They do. Okay. Yep.
All right. And is the number on there?
870-2493 is what it says.
That is
right?
it.
Is that
Yep,
correct?
It is.
And they can, if they have a resume or information they want to send you, they can email Custer County fairgrounds@gmail.com.
Yep.
All right.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah,
All right.
thank you for kind of touching on that.
And thank you for bringing that up, good friend and neighbor.
Yeah, you bet, Dave.
So let's turn back around and go to Rotary to conclude here.
Yep.
Tickets that we've been talking about. What's the best way to get those tickets? You may have mentioned that, but let's talk about that again.
So they are online. You can go to Rotary5630.org.
Okay. And you can get them
And
that
you
way.
can, yep, there's right there as you get on the homepage, it says register here, and you can click as a guest registration and get it from there.
Okay, very good. Get them while they're available.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of people from out of town coming to town. And the date again?
April 28th and 29th.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming in. Appreciate.
Yeah,
I hope
thank
you
you.
wasn't waiting out there too long.
Oh, no. No.
Because we were talking about some pretty important stuff.
I know. You guys have had a lot of important things this morning.
Well, the guests have been important.
Yeah.
But the rest of the rhetoric hasn't been all that, valuable. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. We'll take a time out.
Gary's Superfoods in Broken Bow, providing you with weekly savings. Stock up on 80% lean ground beef, just $2.99 a pound in a 10-pound tube. Previously frozen boneless chicken breast, $1.99 a pound. In the produce department, grab some Dole Premium Salad Blends, just 2 for $6. Or red or green seedless grapes for $1.99 a pound. Don't forget to sign up for Gary's Superfoods Rewards program to receive even more savings. View their weekly ads and more at Gary'sSuperfoods.com, South B Street in Broken Bow.
We've got spirit, yes we do. We've got spirit, how about you? Here at Nebraska State Bank, we've got school spirit. Introducing mascot debit cards from Nebraska State Bank. Now you can go to your local NSB branch and request a new debit card for your favorite high school team. The Broken Bow Indians, South Loop Bobcats, and Silver debit cards are available by instant issue. You'll only pay $10, and the entire amount will be passed along to your school. It's a win-win situation, right? Take your school pride to the next level at Nebraska State Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Is winter weather and the fear of falling keeping you indoors for the season? Don't fall. Give Pearson's a call. Poor balance and falls can diminish your ability to lead an active and independent life, but you don't have to accept them as a consequence of aging. Pearson Physical Therapy has been helping their patients stay on their feet and take back their independence through individualized balance training programs. Reduce your chance for falls and regain your confidence this winter by calling 308-872-5800 for a free fall risk assessment with one of our therapists. That's Pearson Physical Therapy at 872-5800 in Broken Bow.
The list of songs about love is a long one.
Girl, I've always loved you. Girl, you ain't been loved till you've been loved by a country boy. Loving you easy.
At KCNI KBBN, we love shopping local. Make sure you're listening to The Breakfast Show. Every single day, a new $25 gift card will be given away.
1 minute before the hour, just a reminder, before we close the show today, or sometime between 9 and 9:30, we'll be giving you a chance to win a WinQuest Incorporated $25 gift card that can be used in honor of the Shopping Local, Love Local promotion. And so be sure and listen. I don't know for sure how we'll do that, but we'll do it. I might leave it up to my neighbor and good friend, but before we go to the news, I wanted to just make another slight recommendation for you.
Oh, great, Dave. Love your recommendations.
For, that grilled trout, maybe baked potato, but could you get some asparagus to go along with that? Because that really tastes good with fish. Would you be able to add that?
Well, I tell you, just put the menu together, Dave, and just hand me the menu.
And I think Jack and Nate would like that too, but I could check with them, because I feel like if you're putting the meal together, the least I could do is maybe talk to some of the guests that will be coming into your place and make sure that they like asparagus. I had some Brussels sprouts on Friday night. I don't know that I've had Brussels sprouts. I had it with striped sea bass.
Well, you were really into the fish during your vacation, weren't you?
I had salmon the first day, then trout for breakfast, and then sea bass. But Brussels sprouts, I don't know. Maybe we should check with Nate and Jack about that. They might want some Brussels sprouts, too. I'll write it all down, my friend.
Yeah,
don't you worry
great.
about
You
it,
do
neighbor.
that.
I'll make sure you know what needs to be fixed. News is next.
You are listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Go, go, go! On KCNI, KPBN, Broken Bow, Nebraska.
CBS News Brief. Officials in Rochester, New York say one woman was killed in a stampede at a rap concert last night. 2 people are in critical condition after a rush to the exits. Mayor Malik Evans.
When you go to a concert, you do not expect to be trampled. Your loved ones expect you to be able to come home.
They're investigating what started the stampede. More than 35 protesters have been arrested near the site of a planned police and fire training compound in the woods near Atlanta. Police Chief Darren Shearbaum.
When you throw Molotov cocktails, large rocks, a number of items at officers, your only intent is to harm.
So far, no sign of 4 U.S. citizens assaulted and kidnapped across the border in northern Matamoros, Mexico. CBS's Christina Ruffini.
Shortly after crossing the border, gunmen opened fire on the passengers in the vehicle. All 4 Americans were taken from the scene by the attackers. Their conditions are unknown.
CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Nick Cope.
In the NBA, Grizzlies coach Taylor Jenkins said there is no definitive timeline for Ja Morant's return. Jenkins saying, quote, "This is going to be an ongoing healing process. It's really not a timetable situation," end quote. On the court, the Grizzlies fell to the Clippers 135-129. Knicks knocked off the Celtics in double OT 131-129. The Bucks bounced back for a 117-111 win at the Wizards. Milwaukee's now 2 games up in the loss column on the Celtics for the best record in the league. And the Lakers beat the Warriors 113-105 as Anthony Davis scored 39 points. In the NFL, the Vikings released veteran linebacker Eric Kendricks. In tennis, Novak Djokovic has withdrawn from Indian Wells, perhaps signaling his application for a COVID-19 vaccine waiver to enter the U.S. was denied. And in college basketball, 3 bids were punched to the NCAA tournament yesterday: Kennesaw State, Drake, and UNC Asheville.
Here's your weatherology forecast. Some fog early on today, mostly cloudy with our high nearing 38. Mostly cloudy skies overnight tonight with a low around 21. Still cloudy throughout Tuesday with our high of 34 and a slight chance for some snow showers throughout Tuesday night with a low of 27. Some rain and snow showers possible on Wednesday, cloudy with our high of 38, and more rain and snow showers likely throughout Wednesday night with a low around 29, and showers may continue throughout the day on Thursday. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm staff meteorologist Kara Foster.
News and weather was brought to you today by Custer Electric and Irrigation in Broken Bow. Custer Electric and Irrigation, your local Zematic by Lindsay dealer, has the offerings you're looking for this winter to prepare for next year. As you know, every season brings new focuses. Here are theirs right now. Specials on driveline conversions, sprinkler packages, and winter maintenance specials, to name a few. If you've worked with Custer Electric and Irrigation in the past, you know that they want to get you taken care of the right way at the best price possible. They encourage you to get the work you need done scheduled as soon as possible because prices are rapidly increasing for a lot of supplies. Plus, that schedule book can only get so full. Don't forget licensed electrical work you might need done too on ag, commercial, and residential applications. Ask for a free quote. Custer Electric and Irrigation, your local Zematic by Lindsay dealer in Broken Bow, serving the whole area with electrical, agricultural, and commercial services. Call today at 872-7786. Follow them on Facebook or visit custerei.com. Custer Electric and Irrigation. Experience the difference.
31 degrees under a cloudy sky here at Broken Bow. Thanks to Custer Electric and Irrigation for being a part of the show and making weather and news available here on the Monday edition of the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. I told Brent this story yesterday, and one of the things about traveling is you just kind of get little tidbits of, I guess, life about other people, and it's always really interesting. And so we were staying at an Embassy Suites, and for you folks who have stayed at those before, one of the benefits is you get a free breakfast. And they'll a lot of times have, a person cooking eggs over easy or however you want them, and omelets are really big. And so we go through in the morning and going to order an omelet, and there's a sign, and it gives the cook's name. And below his name, he said, sportscaster. And I thought, well, I got to ask this guy, about what he's doing, making omelets and doing sportscasting work. He was a very, very nice guy. And while he was making omelets, we were talking and told him that, we were in radio and was interested as to what he was doing. He says, well, I'm trying to work my way into a full-time job in the market here. And he says, I work, I think he said one other job besides the job he had in the morning. Plus, he was getting some work. He was doing some play-by-play and broadcasting of some semi-pro teams in the Denver metro area. And then the night before, he had done halftime reports, and I didn't catch, it was a professional contest, whether it was hockey or what it was. So he said, I got home about midnight, and then I got here this morning like at 4 o'clock to start making omelets. And he's I can see why he would make a good sportscaster. Number one, he kind of had the enthusiasm that you sports guys have. He had a nice voice, and he could remember people. He would say, "How do you want your good morning? How do you want your omelet? What would you like in it?" And you go, "Well, let's see. I'd like cheese, mushrooms, peppers, onions, and spinach." And he'd repeat it, and then that's all he needed. Then he'd make it. So the next person would come up and they'd want just cheese with mushrooms and some ham or sausage. And I just don't understand how somebody could be back there making, I bet he made 150 omelets that morning. I mean, the place was packed with people. They had filled the whole 4th floor. And he's remembering all these different ingredients for each person that comes through. And I go, well, he doesn't have any trouble remembering names and numbers.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
That is, yeah, that's kind of neat.
Well, I said, boy, I wish you luck. He said, yeah, someday, he said, I hope maybe I can make my living doing what I want to do. But he said, in the market this size, the Denver metro market, it's hard to get in the door.
Well, I'm sure it's extremely competitive.
Yeah, so he was very, I think, happy that he was at least working some.
Yeah.
And he gave me the frequency. It was 104 something, and he says it's the top sports FM in Denver. So, he's headed in the right direction. But I knew he could do the job when I watched him make all those omelets and could remember all the ingredients.
There you go.
Yeah. So learn something new every day. And when you travel a little bit, it's kind of nice because you learn something different. But, yeah, that's my story. I thought you might find it interesting since you're a sports guy.
I did, yeah.
And also a great neighbor. And an excellent cook.
Now
probably.
I'm a great neighbor.
Probably.
I've just been hearing all morning how I have fallen short as a neighbor, and now all of a sudden I'm a great neighbor.
No. Sometimes I think you pluck words out of my sentences.
You do,
that just aren't, complete thoughts. you pick out a few things that makes you think, I don't think that you're a good neighbor. That's not true at all. I was just, as a matter of fact, going to say, I think you could make omelets at an Embassy Suite and remember all the ingredients too.
You think?
So
I
that's
doubt it.
really
No.
one of the reasons why I think, using your barbecue at your place and making recommendations for the ingredients to go along with the trout and the sides, potatoes and maybe a little cheese on top of them, makes sense because you'll remember it all, just like the guy in Denver.
Oh.
And boy, could he make a Denver omelet.
Yeah, I bet he could. Being in Denver.
I bet you could make a Broken Bow omelet.
Yeah. What would you put in a Broken Bow omelet?
Well, in this part of the country, you'd have to put little chunks of steak in it.
Yeah.
Little
that'd be
chunks
all
of
right.
pork,
Yeah.
little pork,
Yeah.
maybe some sausage, and cheese.
Peppers and onions?
Most people around here like peppers and onions.
Mm.
A lot of people don't like mushrooms, but I think they're great.
Yeah.
And probably most people wouldn't put spinach in their omelet around here.
Yeah.
But it's not goopy spinach. It's fresh
it's
spinach.
fresh. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
probably different.
Yeah. And maybe, you know what? Some fresh spinach salad would be nice.
Oh, yeah?
If you want to whip that up. Central Nebraska Community Action Partnership is looking for some employees.
They are. Right now, they have an opening for an individual to work as an infant toddler teacher center specialist. This would be 40 hours per week, year-round, in Broken Bow. A good starting wage between $20 and $23 per hour, depending on your qualifications. Great benefits. Now, for this job, you need to have your Child Development Associate Certificate, an associate's or bachelor's degree in early childhood education. They would prefer someone with experience working with infants and toddlers, income qualifying families, and past supervisory experience. You'd be responsible for center coordination, supervision, and teaching. An application can be obtained by contacting CNCAP Human Resource Department at 308-745-0780. The extension is 0. Or you can apply online by going to their website, which is centralnebraskacap.com.
Thank you, Brent. Well, as long as we're at a moment here where we can talk and make
We're
plans.
at a moment, okay?
We're having a moment.
We have a lot of those on the show. Moments.
What kind of beverages are you thinking we should have along with the trout? You want to go with
bring your own.
Oh, yeah. That's fine. We could bring our own, but wouldn't you want to have something there, like just in case, like some lemonade or iced tea or something?
Yeah, I'll provide water.
With ice, at least?
Well, maybe. It depends.
I can see we're going to have a little trouble here. You know, if you're going to...
Why are you... you're setting all this... if you're setting the whole thing up, why isn't this being held at your house?
I don't have the big double garage in case it rains. If it rains, we can just slip into your garage.
I see.
I have to put your cars out. I hope it doesn't hail. We'll take a timeout.
It's tuxedo time. The south side of the square is where you should be going if you want to look dapper. Head to Chapin's and Lola will get you fitted for the perfect style and color to match that awesome personality of yours. Each time you rent a tux, $10 goes to your after prom party. Right now is also the perfect time to register for weddings that are right around the corner. Get your tuxes at Chapin's Furniture in Broken Bow.
It's your last chance to save during the winter clearance at Bow Bootery. To get you through the door, we've officially ramped up the savings to between 50 and 75% off of our winter merchandise. It's simple. These shoes and boots need to go to a new home. Shoes, snow boots for women and children, fashion boots, tights, leggings, bear paws. It's your last chance. Shop big winter clearance savings at Bow Bootery on the square in Broken Bow.
Guys, stop putting your love life on hold. U.S. Pharmacy has some exciting news. If you've been wanting to try Viagra or Cialis, now's the perfect time. Call today and receive 90 little blue or little yellow pills for only $119 with free shipping. Why order some low-dose sildenafil from one of those subscription services when we can give you what you want now? Call 800-711-6818 and we'll rush your order discreetly packaged to your door. 800-711-6818.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Ooma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 50 features.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Find small business calm at ooma.com/radio. That's OOMA.com/radio.
9:15. You know, you brought up a good point. If
I did.
If we have this barbecue at your house and you host it, and you prepare the meal and provide iced tea and lemonade, and we're out on your driveway and it storms and we have to move inside, that's going to mean we're going to have to move your cars out in the driveway to be able to eat. Of course.
So put my cars out in the storm.
Yes, but if we have Nate and Jack there, we could probably get coverage.
Well, that's true.
Immediate coverage.
Well, if, it started to hail and dents and, windows being broken out, they could just do the adjustment right there.
Yeah,
on
they'd be right on the spot. And, otherwise, now this is just something kind of for you to think about. We could move in, into the house and we could, I know that sounds a little crazy, but we could open a window and pull the barbecue in and just vent it out, vent the smoke out your window and go ahead and cook inside.
Oh, you think?
Yeah.
Okay.
That would be, I hope your landlord is listening. He might want to know about that ahead of time.
Yeah. If he does listen, he just has to shake his head. I know that's what I do most of the time.
Oh, no, you don't. You're thinking about, maybe a little potato salad as well would be nice. German potato salad would even be better.
You have given this a lot of thought. My goodness, how long has this been on your mind?
Well,
you have the entire menu laid out and everything else.
I don't know, just popped into the old head.
What's interesting, though, you still haven't really asked for permission. You really haven't asked me anything. You've just kind of been telling me.
Well,
to me, that's not being a very nice neighbor.
Well, here's an idea.
Just inviting yourself over.
I feel like maybe I'm burdening you a little bit, putting a burden on you.
Oh, you think?
And I think you might just ask Jeremy if he'd give you a hand, because he's a good barbecuer. And
well, Jeremy's got a bigger place than I do. He has the nice big outdoors there.
I know, but he puts on a lot of
gatherings. Maybe we should have it at his place.
I think we need to take a little pressure off of him and have it at your place.
Okay.
So, Grant told me yesterday.
Yes.
And I was so excited to hear this, that the Zombies are going to go on tour.
Oh, wow.
And I believe the last time they went on tour, which was only a few years ago, because I know they played the Boulder Theater in Denver, and I thought about going because it was all the original Zombies. And I happened to see them on a program where they played, and they sounded great. Pioneering band, had their own sound, and I'll let you know, Brent, if they're going to be touring, because
okay,
I'm coming up, on a big birthday down the road, and boy, some Zombie tickets would be nice.
Is that your hint of me buying you concert tickets?
That'd be so sweet.
You want me to buy you concert tickets now, too?
It'd even be better if you'd kind of give them to me during the barbecue.
Why? I was hoping to maybe, for the first time in I don't know how many years, take a week of vacation and go somewhere with my lovely wife. And now I can pretty well put that on the back burner now, because whatever money I was going to save for that, I'll have to put toward everything you're talking about this morning.
Well,
so thanks a lot.
Sure, not a problem. And also, I think if it's a problem if you want to like take a couple days off after the barbecue, I think we could probably get Christy to clean the grill for you.
Yeah, I bet.
She put on her little scrubby-dubby gloves, and here's the zombies on the Get 'em Go Breakfast Show.
KCNI KBBN Radio.
9:27. You're listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show on a Monday. What are you doing, Brent?
I just got a text message.
Oh, something about business?
Mark Wells.
Oh, Mark Wells.
Just wants me to know that Christy has a fish fryer I can use. I suppose Mark's inviting himself over now, too.
Well, it sounds like this party's getting bigger.
To this get-together that I'm not even going to have.
Well, you're going to, you're kind of committed now, my friend.
Oh, thanks.
Let's talk about WinQuest Incorporated.
If I use the fish fryer, do you think Christy would be upset if I just gave it back to her without cleaning it?
Oh, I'd love to be there when she got it back. That would be worth a lot of money, more than money. WinQuest.
Yes.
Now, here's a fascinating number. I don't know if anybody understands this completely, but we're just talking with Steve Fowler at the Grocery Cart, 40-year anniversary. That is fantastic. There'll be other anniversaries celebrated at the upcoming Chamber Banquet.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that there's going to be too many that's going to be able to claim this.
Okay.
98th year of WinQuest family.
Wow, that's awesome.
Being part of this community. Isn't that something?
That's great.
So when you walk through the doors of WinQuest, give them a thank you for being here and serving us for that many years through all the different family members over the years. But you're going to find out that they're friendly, they got a great staff, they have knowledge of their products, and they can help you find the part you need or get it shipped to you quickly. Specializing in auto, truck parts, and accessories. The bonus, if you make $25 purchase in the store this month, you receive a free Napa racing hat.
Mm.
Man, it would really look cool if we all had those Napa racing hats at your barbecue. Maybe you could come up with, maybe some cash and make that first $25 purchase in the store and get a Napa cap going. And well, anyway, 98th year. That is amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know that there's any businesses too much more longevity to that than maybe some of the banks. I mean, Arrow Seed's been around a long time. The bank's been around a long time. That's something.
Mm-hmm.
Locally owned, homegrown, WinQuest family. Thank you so much. So what we have here is we're going to be giving away a $25 gift card.
Okay.
Which, by the way, Brent, you're not eligible, but if you were, you'd have $25 to get one of those hats.
Yeah, there you go. That would work out nice, wouldn't it?
You could, it would be kind of cool, though, if when people come to your barbecue, that when they walked in, you give them a little gift. Like a Napa hat, racing hat. I know Jeremy would love it. I guess Jeremy's coming then. So I would like somebody to call us at 872-2801. Now, you cannot have won this on this contest before, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you won before, please do let somebody else get the card. But if you're out there and you're listening and you'd like to win the card, call in and just maybe make one suggestion, maybe a side dish.
Oh, brother.
A side dish for the upcoming barbecue at Brent and Shelley's place. Good morning, you're on the air. Who are we talking to?
Hey, this is Vicki.
Hi, Vicki. How are you?
I am good. How are you?
Oh, pretty darn good. Are you calling from up in the north portion of the county?
Yeah, northeast.
Northeast. All right, that's what I thought. So, up in the northeast corner of Custer County, what do they usually have? Let's say you're going to grill up some fish on the grill. What would you recommend as a side dish for Brent and Shelley to provide?
I like rice with my fish.
Rice.
Rice does go good with fish.
Let me write that down, Vicki.
I will say that.
Rice. Rice is nice.
Yeah. It's healthy.
It is healthy, and it goes with trout really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yum.
By the way, what if we have this party? Would you like to come, Vicki?
Well, sure.
Brent and Shelley's throwing a big party in our neighborhood.
Oh, now he's bringing Shelley's name into this now too. I'm sure she's loving this. It was just Brent. Now Shelley's being brought into it too.
Poor Shelley.
Yeah.
Well, how Vicki? You can't come by yourself. Do you want to bring your husband?
Well, sure, I'd bring him along if he'd go. He's not a. He
social.
doesn't like to go out and be around a lot of people.
Well, hey, we'll just tell him that we're just across the street. So if he doesn't, feel comfortable with a large crowd, he can go over, go to Brent's place, and load up his dish with trout and rice and German potato salad and whatever, and then he could just go over to our house and we won't be over there, and he could eat in our kitchen.
I'll tell him that.
Yeah, tell him I'll probably come over and join him.
Oh, goodness.
All right. Well, Vicki, thanks for the suggestion. Rice is a great side dish for trout. That's for sure.
Do I need to bring a side dish?
Oh, I don't think so. I think Brent will pretty well have it covered, Vicki. Don't worry about, coming from the Northeast.
Okay.
Potato salad could go bad from up in the country there down to here. Don't worry, Shelley will probably whip up a big bowl, and I don't think it's a problem at all.
Okay.
Thanks, Vicki.
Hey, thanks.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening.
Yep.
All right.
If I show up home one night and there's like 150 people at my place expecting to be fed, you're gonna get it. you're gonna get it.
Well, there's one thing that we haven't done so far.
What's that?
We haven't agreed upon a date.
Good. Because I'm sending them over to your place.
We just don't have the room in the drive. The two cars. We don't, because the cats have the left-hand side, and my Monte Carlo's in the right-hand side. And I have no place to, pull the grill in if it rains and storms. And I don't know. We just too long ago put in new carpet, and I hate to have like trout and potato salad spilled on the carpet. So I just really appreciate you having it over at your place. What do you have there, Brent?
I have one last thing, and then we'll go.
Oh, I thought you were going to punch me.
Not going to respond to that. In all seriousness, and it is time to get serious here for just a second, we've been announcing this for several weeks and maybe even months now, but there was a group of individuals that came together and has realized the importance of mental health and realizes that just raising awareness is imperative. There is help out there if you're struggling with mental health issues. Not all mental health conditions can be cured, but they can be treated. Take the time to focus on yourself and check in on your mental health. Please reach out. You do not need to struggle alone. We all need to help end the stigma. So to help do that, this group has created a resource of mental health providers in Custer County, and they put it into a website, which is this, mhpcc.org. That's mhpcc.org.
Thank you, Brent. Good friend, good neighbor, co-host, and brother and son all in one. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you to WinQuest for the $25 gift card that Vicki just won. And Vicki lives up in the Sargent area. So, Vicki, thanks so much for listening. You're a good listener. We appreciate it very much. And appreciate the fact that WinQuest has been around for 98 years.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Boy, are they going to have a party on their 100th.
Mm-hmm.
If yours goes well at your house, maybe
I'm not having a party.
Amy might get a hold of you and see whether you'd want to come and cook at theirs on a couple years from now for their big anniversary party.
Better yet, why don't you just plan it for WinQuest? You seem to be really good at that. You can just call up Amy and tell her where it's going to be and what you're going to have, and yeah, you seem really good at that.
Well, I wouldn't do that. They're not my neighbors. I mean, that would be rude.